Dawn breaks over the rugged terrain of TheIsle, casting long shadows across the ancient landscape. As the sun creeps higher into the sky, the world begins to stir. Mighty dinosaurs roam the plains, their thundering footsteps echoing through the valleys. Agile predators slink through the shadows, their eyes fixed on their prey. But amidst the chaos and danger, a small miracle is unfolding. High atop a rocky outcropping, a mother Pteranodon is tending to her nest. Inside, a tiny life is about to emerge into the world. As the shell cracks open, a fragile hatchling takes its first breath, unfurling its wings to greet the world. Through her eyes we'll uncover the challenges and wonders of a world long gone. A world where these magnificent reptiles rule the skies. We were born into a world of giants, as tiny creatures of pure determination. From the moment we hatched from our eggs, we were driven by an unquenchable thirst for exploration and adventure. With wings that seemed to stretch on forever, we were creatures built for the skies. And as we take our first careful steps and flap our wings in excitement, it is clear that we are a force to be reckoned with. For us, this early time was a chance to test our limits and explore the world around us, from climbing the highest rocks to calling out to our parents for food. We were constantly in motion, driven by this boundless energy. We surveyed our surroundings with a sense of wonder, our gaze darting from one fascinating detail to the next. From the rugged cliffs that tower above the lush vegetation below, everything seemed new and full of possibility. But amidst all the marvels of TheIsleEvrima, there is nothing more heartwarming than the bonds of family. As we snuggle up against our mother, we feel a sense of endearment that transcends time. Finally, the time arrives when our wings are strong enough for flight. With a burst of energy, we launch ourselves into the air, soaring high over the colony. It's a triumphant moment, filled with excitement and the promise of a lifetime of adventure and new discoveries. As juveniles, we were expected to fend for ourselves and find our own food now. Thankfully, with so many of us in the colony, hunting wasn't necessary just yet. There were plenty of fish just lying around for the taking. Despite the abundance of fish, it wasn't always enough to sustain us. We'd need to venture to the river to catch more. A daunting challenge for such a small creature. As we soared through the skies, a solitary stegosaurus catches our eye. As long as we maintain a safe distance, there's no cause for concern, though. Navigating the waters as a young Pteranodon was a delicate balancing act, requiring precision and skill. Stray too close and risk a catastrophic plunge into the water. Stay too far away and the fish slips away. But not today, it seems. Our first fishing trip was a monumental success. Growing up as any creature means constantly learning and exploring new things. We experiment with our mobility options, discovering new ways to move through the world. We've learned to land atop the trees, where we can rest and regain our stamina, away from the dangers of the ground. We've also discovered that we can tuck our wings back and quickly descend, picking up momentum and gliding effortlessly through the air. We returned home just in time to see the rest of our siblings fully hatch. The colony of 5 Pteranodons now exploded to 10, with just 2 eggs remaining to hatch. As the oldest of the children, it would soon be our responsibility to help take care of the colony as a whole. We also grew tired of eating fish for every meal. So instead of the river, we ventured to new lands, and searched the plains just past the forest's edge. A strange sound catches our attention, the constant clucking of a chicken. Though we were skilled in the air, as young Pteranodons we still have much to learn in the art of hunting. Missed him. Another miss. And some more misses. We spend the rest of the day tirelessly pursuing the elusive chicken through the fields, missing again and again, but alas, success. With a well-timed dive and a swift strike, we take down the little bird and satisfy our hunger, boosting our growth and development in the process. We'd stay there well into the night, trying to fill our nutrients. So long that one of our family members stopped in to check on us and bring us home. As time passes, we reach subadult growth, our bodies larger and stronger than before. It's time for us to contribute to the colony that provided us with an easy childhood, but as we're still adjusting to our new size, we struggle with our coordination. We fall from a great height, injuring our leg, becoming unable to jump and take flight. Fear grips us as we're vulnerable to the ground world for the first time. After a slight hesitation, we make a swift decision and throw ourselves off the edge of the waterfall. Our accumulated experience and instincts taking over as we use gravity to help us take flight to the air, retreating back to the safety among the treetops. When our legs finally healed up, we'll risk the river's edge to get a drink of water, and head out to the wide open fields once more. melodious clucking announces the arrival of dinner, and our hunting experience has made us more of a skilled predator. With a single, precisely timed strike, we take down our prey. This time, the hunt ends quickly, before the chicken can even react. We fly home among the beautiful colors of sun's first light to deliver the prize to our family. The diverse diet will help the colony grow faster and stronger. As time passed, we reached our adulthood, and the moment we had been waiting for had finally arrived. Our colony had decided to migrate south to the coast, but we felt it was time to set out on our own and embark on our own adventures. We knew that every young Pteranodon must eventually carve out their own path in life, and this was our chance to do just that. We set out to see the sights unseen, to discover the world of TheIsleEvrima for ourselves. We also didn't really want to leave the comfort of paradise quite yet. We spent the entire day flying around until the dinner bell rung again, sending us chasing after that delicious chicken. Our evening meal was interrupted by a curious troop of grown stegosaurus. They'd crawl up on the rock to get a closer look at us. We kept our distance just to be safe. After dinner and the show, we'll head over to the river for a drink. The tree in the water will make for excellent cover while we quench our thirst. As we soared over the vast grasslands, we spotted a herd of herbivores making their way across the plains. Our curiosity piqued. We decided to follow them and see where they were headed. As we flew along, we noticed a pair of carnotaurus hovering over the corpse of a dead creature. We make our way to the nearby tree line to get a better view of the scene. Suddenly, a Deinosuchus emerged from the forest and made its way towards the carcass. It snatched the meal from the Carnotaurus and shooed them away, establishing its dominance. The Carnos surrendered the meal and retreated, cautious of the Deinosuchus's ferocity. As they ran away, another pair of Deinosuchus suddenly appeared from the forest edge, quickly catching them off guard and ending one of the Carno's lives. Although the surviving Carno tried to save their companion, it was much too late and the damage was done. They would have to continue their journey alone. The sight of these violent clashes made us realize that the TheIsleEvrima was a constant battle for survival, and we must always stay vigilant to stay alive. Although the skies were paradise, the water and grounds were littered with creatures who wanted to devour our very essence. We'd spend the night atop our old home, drinking and eating from the areas we know to be safe. After we've had our fill, we decided it was finally time to head away from our birthing grounds. We fly north across the plains, heading over the northernmost horizon. As we emerged from the dense jungle, we were greeted by the breathtaking view of the northern coast. The vast expanse of salt water stretched out before us, its rhythmic waves crashing against the glistening gold banks of the shore. The sight was as magnificent as it was foreboding. Far down the coast, we discover a great delta from a freshwater river, crashing down over the rocks into the ocean. We take this opportunity to refresh ourselves atop the waterfall, and take in the breathtaking scenery that lay around us. Eventually, our stomachs interrupted our peaceful afternoon rest, and so we head down the river to do some fishing. While out on the river, we meet another family of Pteranodon heading inland. We decide to join them and fly south. They told us of stories of a great swamp and plains teeming with life. We flew over beautiful forests and huge bodies of fresh water, while the golden sun slowly broke out from behind the horizon, forcing its glorious rays out upon the world, lighting our path forward. We relished in these moments of discovery and peaceful company. It was in these unexplored lands, a young territorial Pteranodon decided to pick a fight with the wrong reptile. Eager for some excitement, we happily accept his invitation to a dogfight and show them our fighting skills. It wouldn't be long before he realized he was outmatched and retreated into the tree lines. Meanwhile, a commotion on the other side of the swamp was taking place. A group of Dinosaurs were making their advance on a herd of herbivores. And since hunger wasn't an issue at the moment, we'd happily watch from above and take in the sights of the violent ground world. A young Tenno dragged to a watery grave, lured in the parents to the water's edge, where an even bigger predator was waiting, hidden just out of sight. We'll cling to a nearby tree for an easier viewing experience. As we do, the young dino gets greedy and goes for another baby Tenno of the pack. Things didn't turn out so hot the second time. As we flew over the remains of the Dinosuchus, we noticed a juvenile Pteranodon pecking at the carcass. Intrigued, we decided to investigate and discover that the innards of the deceased could provide a valuable source of sustenance. This was a new concept to us, as we had never considered scavenging the dead as a means of acquiring food before. Fortune smiled upon us as we took to the air and glimpsed a sizable Carnotaurus approaching the remains we had just vacated. As we flew back for seconds, we saw the Carno in full retreat. It seemed that he had angered the nearby herd and was now facing the threat of a fatal stampede. With our new understanding of the value of scavenging, we couldn't resist the opportunity for a free meal. We cautiously ripped open the carcass to access the nutrient-rich insides. However, our feast was interrupted by a playful young Tenno, who took an interest in us. We'll retreat to a nearby tree, and wait until the pack was ready to move on, before returning to finish our meal. We took the organs and hoarded them all night. We want to change the bonus we get from our diet, so we needed to wait for one of our 3 to burn off, before we could absorb the nutrients from this meal. Our current diet provided 25% stamina regen, whereas the new diet we wanted would provide 15% stamina regen, and minus 15% stamina drain. As we were flying back from the upper banks after quenching our thirst, we spotted a Dinosuchus using a lead fish as a bait to lure other dinosaurs. The fish was exactly what we were hoping to eat. Without hesitation, we swooped down and took a few bites from the bait. However, our meal was interrupted by another Dinosuchus, who had his eyes set on the same fish. As the the day wore on, we would need to continue our search for an elite fish to satisfy our dietary needs. It wasn't until we spotted another Deinosuchus, using a dead fish as bait, that we finally got lucky. The dino may have been trying to lure prey, or maybe he just wanted to feed the birds. Either way, we eagerly accepted his invitation and filled our stomachs with the delicious meal, still being cautious of ambushes. Our time in the swamp was short-lived, and although we had plenty of food and entertainment, our curiosity to see the world grew stronger with each passing day. As the sun set, we took flight towards the west, heading for the southern coast. The journey was treacherous, and food was scarce along the way. When we arrived at a large stone ark with a rock nestled beneath it, we detected the scent of another Pteranodon that had long since perished from this world, the cause of death unknown. Despite the potential risks, our hunger drove us to try something new. We tore the insides out of the deceased Pteranodon and consumed it for a much-needed meal. However, as with any act of cannibalism, there were consequences. Our bodies reacted with uncontrollable muscle spasms, but at least we wouldn't starve to death this night. We stumbled down the beach, our muscles twitching uncontrollably from the effects of our recent cannibalistic meal. Eventually, we spotted a turtle slowly making its way across the sand. Despite our impaired state, we managed to pounce on the unsuspecting reptile and tear into its flesh, finally satisfying our hunger. We reflected on our day. We realized that the thrill of the hunt and the satisfaction of a full belly can sometimes blind us to the wisdom of patience. It is easy to forget the world is full of opportunities if we just wait and watch, and that the best things often come to those who wait for them. The South was mostly a disappointment to us, but it was a valuable teacher. We also didn't see our old colony down there, and may never see them again. We headed back north, to a land of sustenance that we knew very well, a place we once called home. We missed our landing on the bank of the river, leaping down into the steep slope into the water. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like anyone's home. We take this opportunity to take a relatively relaxed drink along the water's edge. As we ventured through the familiar fields and hills of our youth, our keen senses detected movement in the grass. A small creature adorned in all white feathers darted frantically through the blades, triggering our primal hunting instincts. We gave chase to the elusive prey, only to find that it was not alone. A companion fiercely stood its ground, determined to protect its comrade. Determination would not waver, and with one swift, precise strike to the Hipsy's head, the struggle was over. Victory was ours, and our hunger would be satiated for another day. After we've had our fill of hipsy guts, we sacrifice the body to the sewer gods. If you're enjoying the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more story-driven content like this, consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching. As night descended, we made camp on a familiar outcropping, eagerly anticipating the journey ahead. Come morning, we set out on a trek to the east, tracing the river's winding path. What awaited us was a breathtaking panorama, a scene so awe-inspiring that it left us momentarily speechless. We took some time to rest and recharge our energy, before embarking on our next adventure into the vast uncharted plains ahead. The action came upon us quickly, as we stumbled upon a fierce encounter. A stegosaurus surrounded by a pack of hungry omniraptors. We quickly sought refuge in a nearby palm tree, clinging on tightly as we observed the intense scene unfold before us. With a well-timed pounce and dismount, the yellow raptor narrowly avoids a fatal injury. Sadly, his companion was not as lucky, and met an untimely demise. The stego seemed to have no intention of running away, and slowly made his way closer to our tree, giving us a front row seat to the action, but maybe not as good of a view as before. Although the yellow raptor had done an excellent job, landing 3 pounces on the stegosaurus, this fight was over. On this server, there's a body down rule, and in this case, when 2 adult raptors died, they had to disengage. Fortunately, raptors aren't cannibals. After their failed attempt at taking down the stego and losing 2 of their own, they had no reason to linger and quickly moved on to their next hunt. For us, it meant we had 2 fresh carcasses to scavenge from for the remainder of the day. Later that day, we were surveying the land from the skies when we heard the sound of a young dino, out away from the river. If we were careful, a young dino would make for an easy snack. We swooped by and noticed he had food. Young carnivores that fell victim to him. With the mother distracted from her hunt, we decided now was the time to strike. Direct hit. Our attack seemed to call out to the nearby pterosaurs, as they too swooped in to fight soon after. Actions nearly cost us our life, as the crash landed next to the mouth of the young Dinosuchus. Luckily, we managed to escape back to the skies with our lives, but as we were flying away, we witnessed the other pterosaur fly directly into the escaping mouth. Feeling exhausted and vulnerable, we decided to abandon the hunt and take refuge in a nearby treetop to recuperate. It's a grave reminder that not every hunting expedition will end in triumph, and we were just grateful to still be alive in this world. After recovering from the last hunt, we flew down the river once again, surveying the land. We found something really small, really hard to see too. A young omniraptor. No, two omniraptors. So we began to hunt, swooping by and trying to land devastating blows to the top of their small heads. But they were small and agile, and really hard to hit. We tried to anticipate them jumping and knocking us out of the air, but we miscalculated terribly. The deep cuts from the raptor's claws were a sharp reminder of our poor calculations. Luckily, we were able to sprint down the hill and escape back to the skies before becoming these omniraptors' next meal. It's surprising how quickly a hunt can turn around, and suddenly, the predator becomes the prey. Once again, we are forced into our treetops to rest and recover from a failed hunt. We set out on a journey back to our homeland. Along the way, we'd catch fish to satiate our hunger and drink from the rivers without trouble. But as we hunted in the morning rays, we heard the sounds of breakfast ringing out again. The Hypsy's cry echoes across the field, and we quickly hone in on its location. This tiny creature was playing with death, darting back and forth between the rocks while so many predators lurked about. However, the hunt for this Hypsy would come to a swift end, as we'd nail a direct hit while he's atop the rock, followed by another soon after. Our nerves would run wild when we finally landed to collect our prize. At any moment, a dino or raptor could try to ambush us from beyond our view. Today, though, we escaped with a wonderful meal and head over to a safe place to consume it, atop a rock alone in the middle of the plains, but not before showing off our prize. There, we sat comfortably. We ate the bits we needed to fill our stomach and maintain our current diet, and then we donate the rest as a consolation prize to the raptors on the rock. The next day, as we hunted our home plains again, we heard the call of a nearby suitor. Impressed by his flying skills, and faced with the harsh reality of our recent brush with death, we agreed to join together and start a new colony, a family of our own. With our new mate in tow, we left the all too familiar lands behind and ventured forth to find a suitable place to establish our own piece of the story. We flew all night long, just gliding for miles across the endless expanse of blackness. When we finally came to a huge tree, we attempted to perch in its branches. However, between the dark night and the thick brush, we ended up missing our step, falling violently to the ground. The hard thud echoes across the night, followed by the sound of our breaking bones. We pulled ourselves against a fallen tree and laid down, hoping to recover as soon as possible. When our leg finally recovered enough, we took off for the treetops without hesitation, this time choosing to land somewhere with a bit more visibility. After our recovery, we cautiously approached the river, positioning ourselves on opposite banks to keep watch over each other while we quenched our thirst. If danger approached from the forest, we could easily alert the other by calling out and flying away. As the first light of day illuminated TheIsleEvrima, we ventured towards the northern coast to satiate our hunger. There, on the shimmering gold dunes, we feasted on freshly caught turtle, gifted to us by our companion. It was our first true meal together on our journey. After a full day of searching, we finally settled on the perfect spot for our nest. Perched atop a rocky alcove, we watched as the sun began to set. The male Pteranodon performed his mating dance, and was accepted by our own. With our bond solidified, it was time to work together to build our nest and start a new chapter in the story of our ancestors. It wasn't until late at night when the final sticks had been collected and our colony could be started. We called out to our mate that the monumental task was over, and there, in the cover of night, we laid the foundations for our colony. 4 large soft-shelled eggs, carefully tucked away inside the safety of the nest, spelled a bright future for this happy family. We took turns guarding the eggs and collecting food, until finally, the first of our children was born. When the sun rose, so too did our children. We watched our children be born, and couldn't help but wonder what adventures and challenges lay ahead for them. But for now, we were content in knowing that we had created a family and a home on this beautiful island. Just like how our own journey began, their stories were about to unfold. They too would discover the world through their own eyes. A world where these majestic reptiles ruled the skies. We hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed creating it. Your support means the world to us, so please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel for more exciting content. Don't forget to join our Discord community through the link provided in the description to stay up to date on our latest news and updates. Thank you for watching.